Good morning, Check-in family. Hope you're having a blessed week so far. This week's Midweek Ponder comes from Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This verse has kind of been on my mind past week or so, simply because in my household it's been a particularly challenging set of weeks. We've had some health issues, we've had some difficult financial decisions to make, and it's been, just one of those seasons, those short seasons where we're making a lot of choices and feeling like maybe all of our choices aren't the right ones. So, wanting to lean on God is kind of a natural response to that. And as I was thinking about this, I remembered a book I recently read, which kind of indicates that this verse is often kind of taken out of context. And it talks about how a lot of times, this verse by itself, standing by itself, kind of seems like maybe we can do anything. Basically, anything we want to do, we should be successful at. And that's not quite exactly what Paul was talking about in the context of this passage. In fact, it wasn't at all what he was talking about. What he was really talking about is, regardless of his circumstances, he's learned to be content and through Christ be able to get through all of his circumstances. He talks about how he learned to be both full and hungry and to be content in both of those situations. And that kind of, just reflecting on that for myself and trying to remember that I'm not promised, there's no promise in the Bible that the decisions I'm making or the decisions my family is making are all going to be the right ones, and that they're all going to be easy and lead to simple and smooth situations that we're going through, and that they're all going to be right. In fact, that's not the promise at all. But the promise is that if we choose to focus on Christ, we'll get through it. We'll get through it, and his will be done. Because through all things, they can be done through Christ who strengthens us. He is the steady rock that, regardless on whether we are full and things are going great, or we're hungry and we're struggling and we just don't know what the next step is, Christ is that steadying influence in our lives that will get us through to that next phase. So it's funny because one of the things that my wife kind of gets tired of hearing me say during these times is, you know what, honey, everything is going to work out fine. And it kind of drives her nuts. And I kind of get it. It's a little trite, but at the same time, it's a reminder to myself that regardless of the outcome, Christ is in control, and he is going to work this out for his will, which is going to be maybe not to my direct benefit, meaning that I may not necessarily be feeling like, hey, this is the greatest thing to have ever happened to us, but it's going to work out in the long run for my betterment, for my family's betterment, for my immediate people around me's betterment, because Christ is steady even when I'm shaky. So this week, family, I encourage you to hang on to Christ regardless of what's going on, to focus on him and help maybe worship with him in those moments that you just don't feel like you have strength, and praise him in those moments when you feel like everything he's just blessed you with and that everything has worked out just fine. So I encourage that for you, family. If you have any prayer requests, please let me know. Either put them in the chat or send me a DM. It is my honor to pray for each and every one of you, and I do. And, the idea of these midweek ponders and the chat is to be able to pray for each other so we can be part of that strength that moves us through. Jesus put us together, not by mistake, but so that we can be here for each other, and we want to be able to do that. So God bless you, and I hope to see you on Sunday.